Up, bitches, bros, and non-binary hoes? How are we all doing today? Today, I am actually streaming the live reveal of the new Assassin's Creed game, which is set in Japan called Assassin's Creed Shadows. Full disclosure, I am a Ubisoft partner. This is I guess, a partner stream, so hashtag ad. I need to fully, obviously, disclose that, you know, I am a partner, so there's that transparency there. But I am allowed to say whatever I want. If I don't like the game, I am allowed to say that I don't like the game. I believe it's going to be a cinematic trailer from what they said here. They normally throw a CGI trailer up. I don't know if we're going to see any gameplay or not. If we do, I'll be genuinely surprised. If we do see gameplay of this, I would be impressed. But otherwise, I'm not expecting it. Uh, I've been reading these comments as they go by, and a lot of them seem to be really upset because the rumor is it might be following the story of Yasuke, the Black Samurai, and occasionally you'll see, like earlier on, I saw definitely, if I scroll back up actually, a lot of people yelling White Lives Matter and please no Black Samurai. I took a screenshot of it actually on my threads. Here it is. So earlier on, they were very upset that it might be about Yasuke, which would be hilarious because this is a series where like most of the protagonists aren't even white. Like you've got fucking the last protagonist was an Arab protagonist. We've had women of color in there like Cassandra from Odyssey. Um, I have no idea. There was even a spin. Assassin's Creed 3 obviously had Native American, but also there was a spin off of AC3 that the DLC, sorry, where you did play as a black character like fighting against slavery. I have no idea what these guys are upset when the main title games have so many people of color in, but I can't wait for them to be even more upset, regardless of what the result is. But yeah, what's everyone else expecting from this? I mean, we've got Ghost of Tsushima coming out on PC tomorrow, which I will be streaming as well. Very excited to play that one again. It's going to be interesting to see how much it compares because everyone called Ghost of Tsushima Assassin's Creed Japan, and now they've gone ahead and done it. I know people have been asking for Assassin's Creed Japan ever since the series came out, and I'm gonna give them credit where credit's due. They went to more interesting historical locations first, as much as they could before they went to Japan. But I think someone at the top of the chain in Ubisoft saw the success of Ghost of Tsushima, said, "You know what? Finally, you're gonna have to make the Weeaboo game for them. You're gonna have to do it now. It makes too much money." But I've not played an AC game since Odyssey, pretty much. And I wasn't a fan of the RPG mechanics they brought in. Like, I played Origins, thought it was okay. But when I got to Odyssey, I think they made the level grinding a bit too obnoxious to the point where it was very obvious they're trying to sell you level boosters and EXP boosters to speed things up. So they made it obnoxiously long. Like, it was like Middle Earth Shadow of War levels of really obvious trying to sell you something. Do you know what? We should take guesses. How much is the fucking whatever Ultimate Edition they announced is going to cost? I imagine they'll show you all the different editions they have. And it'll be like, you know what? This is my prediction. It'll be a three-digit number. Because like the last time I saw a stupidly expensive edition was like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and that was like £90, like $90 as well ish. Like, oh, I think it was just under $100 or something like that. But I imagine because I know Star Wars Outlaws is like very close to. I think it might just be $100 on that one. I think this one might be. Do you know? Let me have a look. Let me look up Star Wars Outlaws. Do you reckon it'll be the same, or it might be more, or it might be less? Let's say if I wanted to pre-order it because I'm a fucking billionaire with more money than sense. If I wanted to pre-order Star Wars Outlaws, how much would it set me back? $59.99. That's a decent price, but you get fucking nothing with it. Let's have a look. I want the Ultimate Edition. How much would that cost me? £114. Okay, so they have started going over £100 for their Ultimate Editions because this one is 114. If I wanted to pre-order it, of course I'm not going to. So I imagine is Assassin's Creed going to be more? Because my reasoning is because Star Wars obviously is a licensed property. A portion of those sales are going to be going to Disney. So I don't know if they'll price Assassin's Creed higher because they'll get a better cut of it, or if it will be the same. Plus, this trailer came out at the right time because Shogun just ended, right? So people are very hyped for like ancient Japan right now. And Ghost of Tsushima is coming out on PC tomorrow, which not as many people are happy about because of Sony being kind of shit about it with the whole PSN thing. Like, oh, certain countries don't have access to the PSN. Oh, in that case, let's just delist the game in those countries. Let's just stop selling it there, so they'll stop complaining about it. And because of the stupid ass decision, it's no longer in the top 10 best selling games on Steam anymore because they cut down their sales by so much. Because they delisted it from like 100 different countries. which I think is hilarious.
Who are you? Who do you serve?
All I have ever known in my life. Our land. Our customs. My family. Burns in the name of unification.
Still a frog in a well, who knows nothing of the sea. The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed.
White people are so bad right now watching this stream. They saw him.
Vengeance.
Confirmation that Yasuke is in the game, so it probably is during the unification period with Oda Nobunaga.
Or choose another path beyond what we see.
And we must look for it.
Yo, a black character and a woman? Oh my god, the fucking anti-woke crowd are gonna be so mad over this.
We must learn to trust.
We are ticking all the woke boxes right now.
And follow the blade.
I never played Syndicate, but I heard the dual protagonist of that was like one of the best parts of that game as well. I'm guessing they both play completely differently. One's gonna be more aggressive action combat, the other one's gonna be more stealth focused from the looks of it.
I said, who do you serve? We are the shadows.
That serve the light.
That's put shadows plural, there's two of them, okay. Nai and Yasuke, okay. Well, we know who Yasuke is. I'm guessing Nai is probably an original character.
With our dual protagonists, we have two fantasy, the samurai and the shinobi. We want the player to experience both, and we cannot squeeze both fantasy into one character because samurai and shinobi came from a different social class. They have different lives, so we cannot really mix them together.
The historical character of Yasuke presented a...
There were a lot of L's in chat from people who are upset about the fact that it's Yasuke, like it was rumored to be.
So much of the work is done in Assassin's Creed, which
I think is a really good choice for a character to use, like, you know, their assassin character.
But what we did know, or we do know, is that he arrived in Japan in 1579, right?
Because he's very much a blank slate, so they have a lot of freedom with him.
Relationships with some of the most interesting people in our setting, like Oda Nobunaga, the Portuguese and Jesuits, which made it very sort of tantalizing and enticing from a narrative perspective to come in and start weaving these facts with story in between.
The more we read about the character, the more he was inspiring for us. He's a foreigner discovering Japan, and we thought it's the perfect fit because he's discovering Japan and you are discovering Japan also.
And on the flip side, we have Naue, who comes from the province of Iga, which is a remote mountainous area, fiercely independent, known as the birthplace of shinobi. So they're very contrasting perspectives that really expose a lot of different sides and facets of the era.
When Oda came, he completely...
Domo, how are you doing? Have you heard about this new woke game that's got two protagonists? One is a woman and one is a person of color.
Create this interesting tension between...
Mind-blowing, right?
We were able to...
One woke character wasn't enough, they threw in two of them.
The province of Iga and the legendary Igan shinobi historical figure, Fujibayashi Nagato, who's her father in the game. So we understand...
I think that might be an anachronism, so I think shinobi came after.
And the values that she
Do you know what? Let me quickly Google this. So I'm pretty sure shinobi came at a later date. 15th century, yeah. Okay, I guess this flexibility because there is earliest. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you know what? I'll allow him this because there were.
Which are
it's not completely
benevolence and wisdom. And as a young
there's a female protagonist and there's a black protagonist as well.
Acquire even more of that wisdom as the story unfolds.
And if you ask anybody, it's super clear that samurai will be combat heavy and a shinobi will be stealth heavy. It creates this distinction right away. Yasuke can fight with all his advantage, his stature, like he's a big guy. He can break doors, he can fight multiple enemies, he can break armor. Compared to Naue, like her character and their outfit, it's really about being stealth, being unseen. She's the only one with the Adon.
I wonder if it's gonna be like I don't think it's gonna be like Odyssey, is it? Where you pick one and stick with them, and then you start a new game and pick the other one if you want to experience it. So I think it's like switch between the two GTA 5 style, right?
Because on one side we have
or however Syndicate did
Naue, who's very intense and passionate and determined woman who is very set on her goals. She's kind of got her heart on her sleeve and she'll say what she feels in the heat of the moment.
I wonder if you could, like every mission will have two different multiple options like to tackle it. They can choose either do one or the other.
With Yasuke, who
and how
is
different they'll be or
level head to Naue's fiery passion. We really thought about somebody like Yasuke historically who was able to come to Japan and have the life that he did.
I wonder if you'd have different cutscenes depending on how it is you choose to tackle
achieve all of
like
the
chapter of the story,
what
right?
kind of person would go through all of this? So our Yasuke is very intelligent, thoughtful, and respectful of this culture that he encounters, and that makes him a very nice sort of counterpart to now.
Oh, let's pre-order this. Let's see how much it'll set me back if I want to buy this. I want to see how stupidly expensive Ubisoft have made this. So I was okay, $59.99. I was immediately expecting this to be like a £70 game. So like, you know, really stupidly expensive or something. But okay, is it going to be $114 like everything else for the Ultimate Edition? It is. Okay. What do I get for this? You get 3 days early access. I think that's bullshit. That's basically like, hey, do you want to beta test this game because it's not going to work on day one? So 3 days before that, you'll be playing a really buggy version of it. You get a season pass. Fucking every Ubisoft game has a season pass these days. I bet it's mostly cosmetic stuff as well. Oh, you get bonus quests. Okay. I have no idea why. I don't think a single player game should ever need a season pass. Pre-order bonus. What do I get for buying it? For being dumb enough to buy it before everyone else does? Quest. You get one quest. Okay. I wouldn't put it past them because they've done it so many times in the previous games. I imagine it's also gonna have like EXP boosters as well, and like I don't know if they've done away with the RPG mechanics. I think they toned it back in Mirage. I don't know if they're gonna do the same for this or not. All right, what do we get? Ryu character gear and weapons. Okay, gear. They still got gear and weapons like the RPG mechanics. I have no idea if they tone it back or not. I imagine they haven't because I imagine that's what most of the cosmetics will be. Trinkets, yeah. So they got the whole gear system still. Or you got the customize. Oh, you get to customize your hideout. Okay. They've got a little like a bit of a Sims 4 in here. You can customize your little man cave. 5 skill points. Holy shit! Holy shit! Pay £100 and you get 5 skill points and a filter in photo mode. Oh my god! Fucking hell! Okay, that's the ultimate. Only the ultimate edition has that. So the one before that doesn't have that. Yeah. Okay. Give Ubisoft $100 of your dollars and you can get a filter for photo mode and 5 skill points. IRL skill points? Okay, if you guys had 5 skill points IRL, what stat would you put them in? I think most people probably like dump it in strength or something. I think I'd increase my endurance so I can carry more things. I think I'd increase my stamina so I can carry more stuff in my pockets, right? I want to be able to equip more things and still be able to dodge roll out the way. Because if your stamina's too low and you try and dodge roll while holding too many things, you get the slow roll, and I don't like that. I want to be able to run and jump whilst carrying an entire fridge. So I'd dump it all into stamina and endurance. Meth production. I don't think I acquired that skill, Sanix. Charisma is also a valid option. I think a lot of people. I thought a lot of people would have gone for that straight away. What they do in D&D, right? Because having charisma as a superpower is definitely a nerd fantasy. Because that crest that dude has on his armor there, that's the banner for Oda Nobunaga, who becomes, the great unifier of Japan. And he's the guy that, fun fact, this is around the time when ninja became a thing as well. So what would happen is when the farmers were not happy with their landlords, the feudal lords, being, dicks, what they would do is they would sharpen their farming tools into murder weapons and just kill them in their sleep. And that's where ninja come from, and that's why ninja weapons are just farming tools, right? Because they were literally farmers who were fed up of their landlords and just killed them. So deal with that information what you wish. But this is set during the War and States period, towards the end of it from the looks of it, where Oda Nobunaga, who is the known as one of the 3 great unifiers of Japan, because he managed to conquer and unify the mainland of Japan, basically, and was essentially the first shogun. And he is kind of a controversial figure, because one of the things he did during his conquest was he burnt down a temple of Buddhist monks and executed them all. And he sort of mocked them whilst doing it as well, when because the Buddhist temple, who they were very, he wasn't wrong for doing this, which might sound bad, but these monks were like warrior monks, and they were very opposed to him and his campaign to unify Japan, right? And they were like literally saying, we are gonna fight back and such. And they justified their actions by saying, they're on the side of God and such, religious justification. And he wrote back to them as a joke, saying that he is the Dairoku Tenmao, which is the demon lord of the 6th hell. So he's saying, I'm the king of hell. And then, he rocked up that temple and killed them all. Which is a Chad move, I guess, because he did end up, stopping the whole War in States period and unifying Japan and stuff. And then he was later murdered by, what's his name, Akechi, who was his vassal. So his loyal vassal stabbed him in the back and killed him. And that's the name of one of the characters from Persona 5 who betrays you. Anyway, that's your brief lesson on Japanese history. You actually see him here. So that dude sat there, that is Oda Nobunaga. And I think this is when he employs Yasuke into his service. That symbol there, that's a Kamon for his banner. So that's his symbol, that flower. Which is, you'd see it in a lot of like ancient historical like samurai armor, because they preserve a lot of that stuff. But he was known for he was the guy that made Yasuke a samurai, because he saw how big and tall and strong he was. And you know what, this guy is going to make a fucking great samurai. And this was after the Portuguese came to Japan and gave them firearms. So you'll see guns in this game as well. So mostly like matchlock pistols, probably some mortar as well, some like long range artillery.
And you... will you continue down that river?
I do like the design of his armor.
Or choose another path beyond what we see.
And we must look for it together.
Because gold was obviously Nobunaga's color. I do like her hidden blade as well. See it there.
We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
Obviously, it's a cinematic trailer, so it probably isn't going to look like this in the actual game itself. Like, Ubisoft are very infamous for showing you really pretty trailers, and when the game actually comes out, it doesn't look anything as good as the trailer showed it to be. So take this with a pinch of salt. They've not changed at all since like 2013, which is when they showed Watch Dogs looking incredible, and then the actual game looked very flat and lackluster. They've so consistently done that. I think Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, that was close to what they showed on the trailers, so you know, that wasn't as bad as like some of their other stuff has been, but you know, they have a reputation for it. Like, I don't have higher hopes for Star Wars Outlaws looking as good as they showed it to look.
I said, who do you...
Watch Dogs was a fun game. It wasn't as good as they hyped it up to be, but it was still fun. It was very janky as well. I'll give you my story of when I played Watch Dogs, which sums up the entire experience, right? So there was a quest, like a side quest, where a woman was getting, you know, mugged in an alleyway, and requested, "Hey, you gotta stop the crime." So I went down the alleyway with my AR-15 assault rifle, right? And I shot the dude holding her at knife point through the woman. So I shot through her to kill him, and it said quest, you know, crime averted successfully. I was correct. I did it right. I killed them both doing it, but you know, that got me the EXP, and that's essentially what what that game is. That's how that game works. That's the logic, right?
That serves
This guy!
He's not missing a finger, is she? Because normally they cut their ring finger short. Yeah, because she's still got her ring finger, which I know when they used the hidden blade in the previous games, they would cut it off. But this obviously is set before that tradition started, I think. No, it's not, because it started in Origins, which is ancient Egypt. Okay, so that was BC. So, I don't know, maybe she decided to keep her finger. Because, yeah, the blade actually goes sideways now, so she's still got her finger. Unless she's got like a prosthetic finger that's really fucking detailed underneath that glove. I don't think Yasuke has one though, does he? So we've seen his hand a few times. I didn't see one on him. Hang on, no. Has he got one on? No, those are just his arm shields.
River.
A little bit more. No, it doesn't look... I mean, it doesn't seem to show him with one. He might get one later on in the game. Which point was it? Because I definitely remember it still being a thing in AC1. I don't think... what's his name? Edward Kenway did it in AC4 because, you know, he wasn't like a... he wasn't as devout as... Yeah, the Kenways. I was thinking of them. I think they didn't do it. I know Edward definitely didn't because he stole his uniform off a dude.
Will you continue down that river?
And they just never made him cut that finger off. They just let him keep it. It's in Ezio's games. Okay.
Another path beyond what we see.
I don't think Cassandra did it either in Odyssey, but I've never finished Odyssey, so I don't know if she does it later on or not. I never played Valhalla. That's what I was thinking, like, I thought he would have it, but maybe still be able to use it, or maybe he's just not an assassin. It's kind of their thing, right? But I know it wouldn't really fit his playstyle much.
Rebuild.
Yeah, it was... It predates the Hidden Blade, because the Hidden Blade was created by Cleopatra in Origins. Flame bonked those guys.
I said, who do you serve?
When was there a release date at the end, or there is, but you can't see because this thing's in the way. It's behind this. It says November 15th. There it is, November 15th, 2024. Domo, I've had the same problem with I say same problem. Do you know what? They've actually improved the game and they've come up with brand new problems. So in Odyssey and Origins as well, but it's worse in Odyssey. They've made this RPG mechanic where you level up by getting EXP and stuff. But in Odyssey, what they've done is they level gated quests, so you can't start a quest until you're the right level for it. And like, you'll talk to one dude, right? Have a cutscene, and then he's like, "All right, cool. Go talk to my friend who's on the other side of town." And you get there, and says, "Oh, you're 10 levels too low to talk to this guy. Go kill 10 rats for some, you know, poor dude in some baker somewhere over in that direction and farm EXP, or give us real world money to boost your level to talk to this guy." Start the next cutscene, which I hated. So I just stopped playing the game since then. So I've not played Valhalla, or I didn't play Unity or Syndicate either. It was in Origins as well, but they made it worse in Odyssey because they really wanted you to buy the EXP boosters. Like in Origins, you can get away with just following the main quest, and it'd give you enough EXP to sort of just about make it to the next main quest. But in Odyssey, the level gaps between the main story quests is like 10 levels higher and stuff. So like, it was impossible to, if you wanted to play Odyssey and just do the main quest, like speed run it, it wouldn't be possible without paying for it basically, unless like you grinded like all the side content. Whereas in Origins, you sort of could. I mean, you probably did a lot of side stuff and you'd sort of level up naturally along the way, which is what they wanted you to do, but they sort of forced you to do it, and a lot of it was very repetitive. After playing enough of these games, I saw it sort of grates on you a little bit. I think the last Ubisoft game I played was South Park: The Fractured Butthole, which is a fantastic game. It's one I replay every now and again. I mean, technically, also the Scott Pilgrim game that they re-released, but I got that physically on the Switch because I want to make sure they can't take it away again. So I wanted to keep that one. But yeah, that is What does everyone else think about Assassin's Creed Shadows? I think it looks interesting. I want to see more of it. I want to see actual gameplay. We have Summer Game Fest coming up. Summer Game Fest 2024. I imagine they'll show the actual game. It's out in November, so they'll show the gameplay before then, right? Yeah, 23 days. Okay, so I imagine they'll probably show some actual gameplay then. I don't really look forward to most AAA games. I'm more excited about AA games these days. They don't want to take risks. In fact, what they'll do is they'll wait for someone else to take a risk and break out, and then they'll copy them. Like, they have zero originality in their formula at all. In fact, no room for it. Having a POC and a woman as the main character, that's the farthest I'll ever push it. And in fact, you know what? Do I dare scroll down to the comments of this? The most heroic thing about this trailer is that they left the comments open because we knew exactly what's going to happen. Oh man, I imagine that some poor fucking intern's gonna have to clean up all these later, I think. So yeah, they've had a black protagonist before in Freedom Cry, where you play as a black person who frees slaves. Did they forget about this, or did they just not play it? These fucking fake fans who are apparently so passionate about this game and don't want to see a black person in it completely forgot that there already was a game with a black protagonist. In fact, no, that wasn't the only one. They had two. We've had another black protagonist here as well, Aveline, which I think they also forgot about. Like, did they just completely miss all of this? I mean, somehow they did. Not pre-order. Yeah, don't pre-order games these days. Especially when they cost you $100 plus, right? Yeah, dislike that one. There's one racism right there. I'm glad I'm seeing people saying no pre-orders on this. This is good to see. Oh, boo-hoo, you had me until the Black Samurai. Like, come on, you stupid fucker. the message. Like, oh no, this has got a woman and a person of color in it. They're gonna make it woke propaganda or whatever. I got burnt out on Odyssey, and I didn't want to jump into Valhalla because Odyssey was so fucking grindy.